The NFL is on EA Sports, and we are in Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. Robbie Gould's got it on the tee. He kicks it off, and here we go from Levi's Stadium. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. Now it's Tua. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami. 53 yards. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down. Showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receiver's understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Samson Abuka. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Lance to throw it. That's going to go down as a loss of 9 on the 1st down play.
He's brought down back at the 16-yard line.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. Here's Hill on the return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
'49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Lance. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the turnover, it's Tua. He'll buy some time right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Now, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. A good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. On play action, here's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 12-yard touchdown run, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0.
49ers,
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score.
Are you ready? 33, yellow.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Lance, he'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting,
instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they've picked him off already in this opening half.
And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 68 yards. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And Matthews has it right side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Yellow, 43. Red.
On play action, Lance. And oh, he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now Lance again. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lance. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Tua, the final shot before half. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Lance's throw caught by Gray. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 56 yards. And the Niners are able to cut into that deficit.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
They go with McCaffrey, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead. It's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A pitch out to Mostert. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On first down, Tagovailoa. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 6 at the 49ers' 26-yard line.
Ready. Go ready.
On second down, Mostert. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 20-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get this down to the 10. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on fourth down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now first and goal.
Ready, set.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on third and goal. And now Mostert is going to be stopped up short. He did not get there. So with a fourth and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. I think probably just trying to draw him off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
He's got a man, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins will take over here at... their own 12-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't think, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's the option going right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem.
He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 89 yards. And the Dolphins have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
It's a run with Mostert, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the...
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Garoppolo.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Open man is Ayuk, complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. They'll roll him out right. Open man is Samuel, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here's Garoppolo tossing quickly out wide. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for two. McCaffrey, he'll try to run it in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Gonna look deep for Wilson.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there.
Yellow.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the 49ers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, this deep, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Well, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time.
Picked off by Eric Rowe.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
He's going to try and go deep again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And the Niners come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the